One of the major things that keeps us trapped in our souls as men is not having the confidence and the ability to speak truth boldly. A lot of men, we believe certain things, and I know this because I've been that man myself, and I know many others. They have certain beliefs, they have certain things they want to get off their chest, opinions, and things they think they ought to say to a group to either spark conversation or to make an argument, a valid argument, but they fear the consequences of judgment, they fear confrontation, they fear that they might be judged, they fear a lot of these things, and it's completely normal. I'm not condemning that. I've been in that position myself. But the greatest leader to ever walk this planet was Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Jesus was a man of sheer integrity. He spoke bold truth. Matthew 23, you read the whole passage of Matthew 23, this is not a man who's holding back. But he did that out of love. He crashed out a little bit, but he wasn't just quick to anger. This was a clear rebuke of the religious leaders at the time because he had to speak truth. Jesus is the truth. Everything he said was true. He had to do that. It was an important thing to do. But the point stands, a lot of people, they have an opinion on something. They have a view on something. And especially as Christians, if you see something that shouldn't be done, a lot of us are like, oh no, I don't want him to get angry at me, or I don't want to point out this sin that my friend's doing. I don't want to do this. I don't want to tell my friend not to do that, or tell my colleague not to do that because it's bad. Because they might think I'm a buzzkill. They might think I'm a joy kill, and then they're gonna judge me and they're gonna mock me and they're gonna fall at me. I panic. No. Grow up. If you have a thought, this could be in the workplace. I've been in workplace meetings before where has anyone got any questions? And I'm sat there with 15 different questions, or I guess problems that needs addressing in this specific scenario or in the workplace, and I didn't have the courage to stand up and speak it. And guess what? The problems kept happening because I didn't mention it. And the problems that kept happening that I didn't mention were directly affecting me and my work. So if I spoke up and mentioned something that I thought was worth mentioning, then my workplace life would have been a lot easier. But most importantly, I would have had freedom of the soul. Because there's nothing worse for a man, there's not many things worse, I should say, for a man, than not speaking your mind. It's something that's in your heart, it's something that's in your chest, it's something that's in your mind, and your mouth wants to speak it, you want to say it, but the flesh keeps you weak. The flesh keeps you there because of comfort, because we seek comfort, we value comfort. Jesus rebuked the Pharisees in the courts of the Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. There was probably thousands of people there at the time. I believe he even did it during Passover. I think he did do it during Passover as well. So there was probably thousands of people there watching this. And he's rebuked them because he spoke truth boldly. I've had to do this in the past with certain medical interventions. Like I said, I'm not going to get this channel banned, but 2021, certain inoculations that people were getting given. The actual origins of that in terms of the disease, and how I was telling people that this could definitely be getting used, guys, to control us. It's probably not actually deadly, and everyone's like, "Oh, shut up, kid! It's dangerous, Kian. It's dangerous." And I nearly lost my job because I didn't want to get the thing. This, Kian, you're a threat. They said, Kian, there's people in here who are vulnerable. You need to get it to protect them. And I said, no. Why? Because I don't want it. I didn't conform to societal pressure. I spoke truth. I said, guys, we don't know what this thing is. We don't know. The rules are probably going to change. I mean, I got shouted at quite badly. I got condemned in a meeting once because they said, Kian, if you'd have just got the jibby jabby inoculation, then you would have had to isolate for 1 week instead of 2 weeks. I'm like, okay, well, fine. Well, what's your problem? They said, well, why don't you get it? Just don't want it. And I didn't have to go into elaborate detail. Thankfully, I didn't have to. It's not that I were afraid to. I've gone into elaborate detail with many other people in different scenarios. But I said I don't need it. Could I have conformed to the societal pressure and the guilt tripping? Yes. But because I'm a man and actually have something about me and have some balls and have some spine and a backbone, I'm not going to just sit there and say, yeah, what do you want me to do? What, go and get this thing that I know is wrong? Go and get this thing that I have questions and doubts about regarding my health? No. What do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm just going to comply with peer pressure like that? Come on. You think I'm not... And these men, which is what the things that I saw in society that made me start doing this, and made me start speaking up with like boldness and truth and actual like integrity, because people just like sheep, just run and got it. They just ran and got the vaccine. Oh, the thing. I shouldn't have said the V word. They run and got the thing, the inoculation, like sheep, just like sheep to the slaughter. Didn't even think. But kid, I want to go to the pub. I want to go to the club. I want to go on holiday. You know, I booked this holiday and I'm stressed at work. You know, so I need this holiday. So I'm just gonna go and get this thing to go and so I can go. Please grow a backbone. And I know it might hurt your feelings, this video, and that's good, because it shows you've got work to do. But if you really run out, knowing that the inoculation, the jibby-jabby thing was bad for you, and you still run and got it because my parents told me to, oh, my workplace threatened me and I could lose my job. What are you doing? Leave! Yes, I know, I'm not completely naive enough to understand this next point. Yes, I was young at the time. Yes, I was like 18. I could have left. So what? I still live with my mum and dad. What's the point? You know what I mean? Yes, there's like 45-year-old who's got two wife and a kid, a wife and two kids. Yes, it's gonna be harder for him, but it comes down to the soul and the principles, guys. If you knew it was wrong, don't go and do it. It doesn't matter what the consequences are. Sue the workplace. Leave. Find another job that don't require it. But Kieran, it's security. Yes, I know it's security, but things are more important than this. You have to speak truth, even if it costs you. If someone comes to me and says, "You're a Christian," yeah. Well, but I can threaten you for this. What are you gonna do? Shoot me? Things are more important, guys. Do not fear the one who can kill the body, but fear the one who can kill the body and soul in hell. Fear God. Do not fear man. Speak up for what you know is true. If you don't agree with something, I'm not saying be completely confrontational and argumentative and just be like hostile to everyone. I'm not saying that. You should do it with love. But if you know something is wrong, point it out. Even though you might face persecution, you might face judgment, you might even get people trying to attack you. You never know. People don't like the truth after all. It don't matter. You have to do it. I truly believe as a man, you have to speak up for what is true. Whether it's to do with the experimental inoculations that they tried to give you 4 or 5 years ago. Whether it's the fact that Jesus is real and he is the only truth. Whether it's the fact that, you know, the pandemic was all the way to just as a trial period to see how complicit you were so they can start to gradually implement other things like digital ID and other draconian totalitarian measures. Whatever it is, if you know these things, if you have the knowledge of these things that God has revealed to you, speak up. Say them with bold confidence and authority and say, this is the truth. It doesn't matter if you don't like it. This is what I believe in. I'm going to have the backbone and the balls to stand up and say, yes, this is me. Yes, this is right. These are my thoughts. This is my opinion. Because once you do this, it is so rewarding, guys. It is so, so rewarding. I know the pain of not being able to speak my mind. I know all them thoughts that I held and all these ideas and opinions I held in my heart that I couldn't verbalize. I couldn't communicate it because I was scared. And I went home every day thinking with regret. I felt sad. I felt that I'm not a man. All these things that I want to say to people, I can't. It made me less masculine. On the other hand, the persecution I faced and the things that I faced, like the judgment and the confrontation and all these other things, like mockery that I faced, it didn't faze me. Why? Because I spoke up. And to me, speaking up for truth was more important than fearing what this random bloke thinks in this workplace or what this guy thinks in the club. Kian, you're not wearing a mask. You need to wear a mask, Kian. What if you give this disease to some old woman in the street? But she's as I can't say the V word. But you get my point. If this is you, if you struggle with speaking out, if you struggle with courage and confidence, even if you know you have the potential to do these things that I've done, even if you have the potential to achieve more in life, you don't have to settle for just mediocrity. You don't have to settle for this low position that you found yourself in. You can achieve more, but you'll have to do it through intentional action. If this is something you're looking for, if you truly want to change your life around, if you truly want to free your soul from complete slavery and lockdown and go out there and speak and make a difference in the world and be to the world, not just let the world blow you around like a feather in the wind, reach out to me. Subscribe to this channel, like and comment on this video if you enjoyed it. Reach out to me. I have a link and you can check my Instagram handle. It's kian.richards1. I will leave it in the description anyway. Feel free to check that out. You can book a call with me to learn more, and we'll have a conversation where you can truly start to transform your life once and for all.